So the strongest Pokemon in Pokemon Quest may be upon us. That while everyone was arguing if Alakazam is better than Dragonite or if 3 Mewtwo's is just the best team in the game, also trying to figure out if Psycho Cut is better than Psychic, there were a few people that knew the truth all along. So let's go and see what Pokemon is the strongest. Wait a second. Mouthwatering Dip Alacube? That's just for water-type Pokemon. That's not how you get Dragonite. That's not Alakazam. This isn't even Ambrosia of Legends. Okay, what's the best Pokemon in the game? Now I'm really interested. But also, it has to be if we actually get it. Oh, guys, we just got 2 of the best Pokemon in Pokemon Quest. Now, it really isn't just Staryu, but Starmie. And when Staryu evolves into Starmie, it actually becomes the strongest thing in Pokemon Quest, and that is what this video is about. So Staryu is actually fairly rare. This was my, I think, 9th attempt. Actually, no, even more. Wow, I think this was actually the 11th. This was the 11th cooking pot I opened, and I finally got a Staryu. Fortunately, I got 2 Staryu, but yeah, even though you can use the normal recipe to get them, they can still be pretty hard to get, and you do have to get the perfect Staryu as well. Only 1 move slot for that Hydro Pump, then you need enough offense to back it up. So while we did get some Staryu, it wasn't good enough, and I guess the grind is going to be on for a while, but when I come back, I'm going to show you guys the strongest thing in Pokemon Quest. If I sound tired, that's because I am. It took me over a day to get 1 good Staryu, and even then, it took me over a day just to get a handful of Staryu. I don't know if I'm just very unlucky or if this Pokemon is very rare. It took me 25 cooking pots just to get this guy, and then I got maybe like 4 out of 40 or something. I don't know. The odds are very, very low. I'd have to say it's like 7% on a Staryu. It's not that great. So there's a few things I learned, and I guess I just have to take this guy regardless of the bonuses. So it seems like there are some drawbacks to actually getting one of the best Pokemon in the game. The reason why Abra is so good and so used is because it's the only Pokemon that you can get through the normal Psychic recipe. Well, with Water, that is not the case, and it takes a very long time. So if you want to get one for yourself, 3 Blackberries, a Mushroom, and then a Fossil, and that is going to be the recipe right there. I'm going to try to get like a team of 2, you know, 2 Starmie plus the bulk up seems to be what people are saying works. They're getting like 1 minute 30-second clears for the boss of Happenstance Island. It's insane, but it does take a lot of resources. Also, you can get Staryu through the yellow cooking recipe, so again, normal yellow recipe, and that's going to be it. But this is the tech I found out that's just going to be the best. That if you look at the Hushed Highlands, hey, that's going to give us some of the most blue. And the boss is actually Nidoking plus Nidoqueen, and they each have a drop. So I've received as much as 60 Blackberries from 1 clear, and the clear takes less than 2 minutes. So if you want to do this for speed, like I was just kind of passively grinding Happenstance Island, but I wasn't getting enough resources. Sure, I was getting like a lot of good stones and stuff like that. So if you're just playing for speed and you're trying to get as much cooking done as possible in the shortest amount of time, this seems like the best way to go because pretty much everything can be one-shot if you are in that later stage of the game. So 8-6, you do the boss, you have a lot of PM tickets, you're recycling that battery, and then you're going to be good to go. So let's actually go and check out this Staryu because I'm scared. Like, I just have to take it at this point, just to kind of see how it works out, how the damage goes, if that Hydro Pump is viable and whatnot. But yeah, I like filled up my Pokedex with a lot of water and yellow Pokemon, and then I even filled it up so I had to use a lot on training. But here's our Staryu right here. 527, 569, looks like a pretty strong Staryu, and this is another thing, like, this is the first Pokemon, so I think it took me like 6 or 7 Staryu just to get one that had a single move slot, and fortunately it's perfect. I prefer having the 2 hit points, makes it where you can survive just a lot of really powerful moves once that bulk up is going, and then you're optimizing for the most damage possible, and this is why Starmie is going to be the best Pokemon to a lot of people. That's because I think this might be it. I think you get the attack ends up becoming the water type moves plus 30%, and that's where these stats just keep coming in for this Pokemon. So here's the thing about Starmie. It gets some of the best bonuses in the game. You get that attack of water type moves plus 30%. The water move weight down, I could go with or without it because the rarity of just getting the right Pokemon with other bingo bonuses, with other good stats and stuff like that. And then you have to evolve Staryu into Starmie to get access to that Hydro Pump. But the reason why it works so well is because it is the highest attack water type Pokemon, and then it also gets the Hydro Pump, so it has some of the highest damage in the game, and then all just scales really well. And what we're looking for is potentially one that has between 1050 and 1150 attack at level 100. So let's go get our Staryu up to level 100, evolve into Starmie, and see what happens. Fortunately, I have more than enough fodder Pokemon. Like, a lot of water-type Pokemon are going to get me there. They're also going to help me with that move training. So this shouldn't be too difficult. It just looks harder to get the actual Pokemon than to train it and stuff like that. So let's see. We got that level 100 Slowbro. How much is that going to help? Oh, wow. Wow, okay, so yeah, that's a lot of power right there. I just got like a straight up level 100 Poliwag, stuff like that. So, boom, that's going to be our level 100 Starmie. And then we can see the bingo bonuses. So, does the attack actually translate into the water type moves up? I feel like it does, which means we're going to be set. And, like, fortunately, we finally got the good one on that first 3 move slot one. So, there we go, Staryu, leveled up. Evolving into Starmie, and then we can check the bonuses, and then we can just kind of see if it's also frustrating to try to get that reroll on the actual move itself. So Starmie knows a decent amount of moves. There's a lot of Pokemon that have worse, so we're gonna see how it goes. Oh, so also it's a 1086, so I guess I got bad IVs, but still a solid Pokemon overall. And there it is, attack water type moves. Okay, I'm excited now. Now we get to see how much damage this bad boy puts out, and if it is actually the best Pokemon. I honestly don't really know what to expect, but I am optimistic. So let's see what this Hydro Pump... What? Hydro Pump is... What? Okay. That... Do I need to see anything else? Also, yes, I do know I need the status condition down so I don't get frozen and have all this stupid stuff happen. My carry is now at risk of getting fainted, but did Starmie just straight turn up with 30,000s that like home in and stuff? That's when another Pokemon does a multi-hit move, the damage scales down by like 50% on consecutive hits. This, it just homes in and does like 100k. 30,000 times 4, more than that, and then you could crit for 60. I mean, my Psycho Cut was doing like 50k, and that's not as... And then this just clears it out by hitting multiple Pokemon. Like, wait, so if it gets the pass-through, on like, because like the way the legendary birds group up, I can hit both, and that's where the damage gets. So it's like I do a 30, 15, 30, 15, 30, 30. It's like, what is going on? One of those crits, I'm doing 200,000. But yeah. So that's like the only drawback right there is, you know, you're still at risk of getting one shot. I feel, depending on what's happening, and look at that, I made it to Mewtwo in like a minute and a half. I don't even have 2 Starmie. Wow. Like if that was another Starmie, we would have gotten here sooner. And like Mewtwo, we still have like a really strong Mewtwo as well, because it has the auto attack 50% down. Starmie just has to be the best Pokemon. Like Hydro Pump is busted. I think besides Bulk Up, because Bulk Up's the best move in the game because of like the carry potential. Yeah, so we're doing 20,000 without the Bulk Up. We have the double. Do we actually just use double? Because ooh, that I saw that coming. But Mewtwo's final attack is bad. So what I see is that if you have 2 Starmie, and like say before Mewtwo gets a chance to KO them or anything, they actually just kind of like flood in all those Hydro Pumps, get Mewtwo below half, then Mewtwo uses a super weak move right here, and then Starmie is fine while getting like those double bulk up power. That's just silly. The amount of damage that Starmie does is so silly. Like Hydro Pump is that, I didn't believe people when they said like Hydro Pump was that crazy, but, and like all we need is like one of those a crit. So yeah, right now I have the move weight down 10% and then 1 double, like 1 whack whack. I feel like 2 whack whack stones is the way to go, and then the 5% down. Do I want to do the width as well? I didn't think really too many of those missed, but if I do the width, it might actually make it to where a double hit works. That broke my mind with how successful it was. And now I almost want to try double bulk up Pokemon just to see if it's all about pouring into that Starmie. Okay, so now I'm just doing stupid silliness. We have double Whack Whack Stone with a Broad Burst, and then we got double bulk up. Is this a strategy that's going to work? I mean, I'm so confident in the win that my Machamp doesn't even have all the stones because I don't have all the stones for it anymore. It's like missing a slot in hit points because I didn't have that. That whiffed in a really weird way. So that's what the double looks like. It doesn't hit twice, though. So it makes it longer, and I don't really see too much of a benefit about that. Okay, so that doesn't really seem to matter too much. And if anything, does it make it to where it's easier for it to hit a wall? Did that Starmie just do a 48,000 crit auto attack? Jeez. And there we go. So that's going to be a Hydro Pump right there. I don't know why it's missing a lot more all of a sudden, but that's 40,000. So yeah, it's like 40,000 stacked right now. The Whack Whack Stone gives us 3 uses of the move. And I think that, yeah, the Broad Burst Stone's pretty bad. All right, so I want to try this again. I might not show the whole thing, because that's just a lot of unnecessary time. Broad Burst Stone, like, really makes it weird for some reason. Oh, I think also what's happening is that, notice how it's spawning. So because of the Broad Burst Stone, it's putting one of the instances behind it, and then it despawns into the wall, maybe? So what happened to our 4? Now we're only doing, like, less, and it's not double hitting. So definitely not as worth it, but the amount of damage is still pretty insane. I want to see what we do to the Legendary Birds, because that could also be a pretty wild make or break. Come on. So there is a lot of downtime in between moves, but then we're one-shotting things. So, like, ideally, we just get those straight one-shots on every usage. That could be a problem, because if you're far away, then you're going to miss them all instead of just, like, landing all of them. The weight on Hydro Pump isn't a lot, though. Even with 2 Whack Whack Stones, that is not a long wait. Paralysis kind of sucks. We're using moves. This is just experimentation. We kind of wrecked right there. But yeah, I think it's just going to be better to have, 2 Starmie. Definitely worth it, though. Like, at first I was like, is this even going to be worth it? The amount of effort I need to put in to get these Pokemon is absolutely insane. But yeah, if you don't have the Broad Burst Stone, double Whack Whack with a speed down might be worth it. And then you do that, and like Starmie is effectively soloing with 2 bulk ups. I want to see what we do to the Mewtwo, because we need that tankiness. We need the tankiness that's provided from all these bulk ups. Ooh, the Mew. So Mew's interesting because that Hyper Beam is ridiculous. Can we survive it is the question. So I'm going to preempt all that. Starmie kind of behind, now just rushing up ahead. Don't get frozen, please. I want to see how much damage we can do, so that 14,000 is always really nice. Machamp went down before I had a chance to bulk up. Oh, there goes Starmie. Yeah, just that RNG kind of stuff that ends up happening, but I'm going to get back to you and see, like, if it's different without the Broad Burst. Okay, so I think I figured out the problem. Whenever Starmie, or I guess any Pokemon, uses Hydro Pump, it pushes itself back, and I kind of wasn't noticing that because Starmie was already off screen. Jeez, that Butterfree just got wrecked. So since it takes a step back, if it's out of range, it's going to go further out of range. And if it uses the Whack Whack Stone again, it's going to go even further out of range. So it's kind of decent on that positioning, but then actually it works really well for just having 2 because you just take a step back, you line up the shot. Oh, Kabutops almost getting wrecked, but now look, Starmie was almost out of the way after that. And, oh, even then barely missed right there. So yeah, I guess, it takes a hit, it runs back, some weird things happen right there. Takes a little bit of time, but even with 1 Whack Whack Stone, that wait time... Okay, Hydro Pump is way too overpowered. I don't think the double bulk up is really doing much. I think you just need 2 offensive Pokemon. So yeah, 2 Starmie plus that bulk up Mewtwo. That's one of the best things in game. I guess depending on RNG, like how many crits you get, that could just set a world record and be in the game in like a minute 28, I think is one of the lowest times I've seen. But we're almost one-shotting. Yeah, we do have the type advantage against the Moltres. That helps. We're clearing out the Legendary Bird. Just did a ton of damage to Zapdos. This is crazy. So there we go, guys. That is going to be the strongest Pokemon in Pokemon Quest. And I give it the verification and the seal of approval. Some weird quirks with the Hydro Pump, which is why I guess having like extra Pokemon on the inside is solid. But this is great. So if you guys enjoy the video, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, share with all your friends. I'm still a little speechless and shocked.